My mom has a beautiful voice, and I've always loved my mom's voice. And I always love it when my mom sings to me.
It started with a text, just a few words, allegedly sent from Mykelti to an unnamed member of the family group chat, but it hit like a thunderclap behind the scenes. No need to push this any further. It's handled. That's all it said. But according to insiders, those 10 words effectively pulled the plug on a quiet but growing effort by Christine and Janelle to initiate a full-blown audit of the family's shared financial accounts.
And I mean, again, our relationship doesn't change just because my mom's decided to leave Dad. It doesn't change it. You're still Mom.
An audit that, according to one production assistant, was specifically targeting Robyn's mysterious jewelry spending over the past 2 years. And let's be clear, this wasn't about a few sentimental keepsakes or holiday sparkle. Rumor has it, Robyn may have dropped upward of $80,000 on high-end pieces from elite boutique designers, all while claiming the family budget was too strained to cover school clothes or basic dental care for the other kids. Fans have suspected something fishy for months, but this sudden move by Mykelti, Christine's own daughter, has reignited every single flame of suspicion. Why now? And what exactly is being handled behind closed doors?
Please understand, singing at your wedding is like, I guess it's a form of apology, but it's more of an acceptance, where I'm just showing that I fully accept you and Tony as a couple.
According to a source close to the Brown inner circle, Christine and Janelle had quietly been collecting itemized transaction data for weeks. Allegedly, their goal was to pinpoint whether large purchases tied to Robyn's private collection were being routed through family-controlled PayPal accounts that were originally meant to fund Coyote Pass improvements and shared household necessities. But just as the two ex-wives were gearing up to present their findings to a neutral third-party accountant, one apparently recommended by TLC's own legal team, Mykelti swooped in with a shocking reversal. She shut it down. Full stop, the source said. Christine was blindsided. She thought Mykelti would support more transparency, especially after everything they've been through with Cody and the favoritism toward Robyn. But something had clearly shifted. And it wasn't just a daughter protecting her mom's legacy. It felt, according to another insider, like someone shielding a deal far more complicated. And here's the kicker.
And blew up pretty much all of your hopes. The collateral damage will last for generations.
This wasn't the first time Mykelti had reportedly intervened on Robyn's behalf. Just last year, when fans erupted over a leaked shot of Robyn wearing what looked like a $10,000 stacked ring set at a charity gala, Mykelti was the one who took to social media first, praising Robyn's grace under pressure and insisting the jewelry was a gift from a personal friend. That post, though now deleted, sparked speculation that Mykelti may have closer ties to Robyn than viewers ever realized, and possibly financial ones. So when Christine allegedly opened a group chat thread demanding an itemized inventory of Robyn's purchases, it wasn't just silence that followed. It was Mykelti's sudden and decisive shutdown. And that's when Christine noticed something even more chilling, a text from Robyn sent directly to Mykelti just 10 minutes before. It simply read, "Thank you, I knew I could count on you." And if that wasn't enough to raise questions, wait until you hear what surfaced next. The spending trail didn't just appear out of nowhere, it glittered its way into the spotlight, one sparkle at a time. It began quietly last fall, when fans started noticing Robyn wearing new pieces of jewelry that didn't exactly scream budget-conscious matriarch. A sleek, bezel-cut sapphire pendant one week, a gold-linked designer cuff the next. Then came the rings, stacked in 3s and 4s, featuring what looks suspiciously like high-carat diamonds and rare-cut rubies. Within weeks, internet sleuths had cross-referenced nearly every piece with listings from high-end boutiques in Sedona, Las Vegas, and even Beverly Hills. The estimated total? Over $80,000, give or take. And this was after the family had claimed they were struggling to cover Coyote Pass maintenance and property tax. The optics were already bad, but when receipts started circulating, allegedly tied to shared PayPal accounts that once funded Christmas gifts and dental cleanings for the kids, the mood shifted from confusion to fury. Insiders say Janelle was the first to spot the anomaly. A casual glance through her own PayPal history last December revealed a suspicious withdrawal labeled simply vendor invoice. But the amount? Nearly $24,000. According to someone close to the situation, Janelle flagged it immediately, but was told the entry was part of a miscellaneous marketing expense for a future family brand launch that never materialized. It didn't sit right with her. By January, she was comparing transaction histories with Christine and allegedly uncovered 2 more eyebrow-raising entries, one at $14,000 and another near the $18,000 mark. The common thread? Each had been processed within days of Robyn being photographed at local events, dressed to the nines in brand new pieces. Fans had their theories, but behind the scenes, Christine and Janelle were already digging deeper. The plan, sources say, was to bring in a neutral accountant to review the books before anything else got swept under the rug. What no one expected was Mykelti intervening just as Christine was preparing to raise the issue during an upcoming family planning meeting, one that TLC had reportedly planned to capture for bonus footage. She hit the brakes hard, one source with knowledge of production scheduling shared. It changed everything. The whole episode outline had to be redrafted overnight. Producers were reportedly stunned, especially since Mykelti had previously voiced support for more openness around finances during an earlier confessional. The timing, a little too convenient, say some behind the scenes. And while no one is saying Mykelti received anything in return, at least not publicly, there's been quiet chatter about Robyn helping out Mykelti and Tony during a recent financial dry spell. Nothing is confirmed, but the whispers are getting louder. And Christine? She allegedly isn't letting this one go, because the very next day she got her hands on something that might blow the whole thing wide open. The very next morning, Christine was seen walking into a Flagstaff coffee shop, carrying what one insider described as a fat yellow envelope sealed and stiff. She wasn't alone. According to an eyewitness who recognized her instantly, Christine was joined by a woman in business casual glasses, laptop bag, clipboard, the kind of woman who doesn't show up unless something official is about to go down. Rumor has it this was the accountant Christine and Janelle had privately retained, someone completely outside the TLC circle. Sources say Christine placed the envelope on the table, tapped it twice, and said something along the lines of, "We're not letting this disappear." And according to a server who overheard pieces of the conversation, that envelope contained printouts of not only the PayPal transactions, but screenshots of group chat discussions, Venmo activity, and possibly even jewelry catalog matches. It wasn't just a hunch anymore, it was a paper trail. But here's where things started to fracture. Allegedly, once Cody got wind of the potential audit, he completely flipped. Insiders claim he called Christine directly and told her she was violating the spirit of the agreement by trying to drag family business into the public eye again. Christine reportedly shot back that there's no spirit left after being gaslit and dismissed for over a decade. Janelle, for her part, kept her cool, at least outwardly. But according to a family friend, she was furious that Cody had never once asked Robyn to justify her expenses, yet suddenly had all this energy to shut Christine down. It's the double standard, the source said. Janelle's been nickel and dimed for years, but Robyn can apparently funnel thousands into gold charms and nobody bats an eye? This is when things took a turn inside production. A field producer, speaking under condition of anonymity, claimed that TLC had already planned to build a major confrontation scene around the audit, complete with sit-down interviews, reenactments of the PayPal trail, and a dramatic confrontation between Christine and Robyn. They were salivating, the producer said. They thought they had the next big Sister Wives moment, but then Mykelti allegedly made a private call to one of the show's executive producers. What she said remains unclear, but not long after, the storyline was pulled, reshoots were scheduled, and Christine's accountant meeting was left on the cutting room floor. It was like a plug was pulled on a live wire, the source added, and no one saw it coming. But Christine, she's been down this road before. And she's not the type to go quiet just because cameras stop rolling. Because that same night, Robyn made a curious move of her own, a gesture that had some calling it a veiled threat. And it all started with a necklace. It wasn't just any necklace, it was that necklace. A heavy, glinting, almost unmistakable piece Robyn had worn once before during a Sister Wives confessional taping nearly 2 years ago. Fans remember it vividly because it was wildly out of step with the show's usual aesthetic, deep emerald stones, platinum clasp, and what several eagle-eyed Redditors estimated to be a market value of more than $25,000. At the time, Robyn had brushed off the curiosity by saying it was a family heirloom, but when she wore it again, this time in a selfie-style video posted to her private Instagram account the night after Christine's coffee shop meeting, it didn't feel like coincidence. According to multiple sources who saw the now-deleted clip, Robyn spoke cryptically about loyalty, grace under fire, and how some people think money can buy peace, but it never does. She didn't name names. She didn't have to. The reaction behind the scenes was immediate. Christine, according to one of her close friends, took it as a clear signal, a power play meant to remind everyone just who controls the narrative now. And Janelle, allegedly she was livid. She felt like it was Robyn's way of saying, "You can't touch me," the source said. It was bold and kind of smug. What made it worse was what followed. Mykelti, who had remained quiet for a few days, suddenly resurfaced online with a casual Q&A video. She laughed off the audit drama, saying families go through phases of financial confusion and that she wasn't about to let internet rumors ruin relationships. To some, it sounded like a peacekeeping gesture, but to others, especially Christine's camp, it felt like a calculated deflection. She didn't deny a thing, one Reddit user pointed out. She just played the middle while protecting Robyn. But here's the thing. Sources claim Robyn and Mykelti's bond didn't start with jewelry or business. It may have roots in something far more emotional. One insider suggested Robyn once offered to help fund private therapy sessions for Mykelti and Tony during a rocky period in their marriage. Whether or not that's true, it's clear that Robyn has been positioning herself as a support system in Mykelti's adult life, and that support may have included financial help. Rumors have swirled that Robyn gave them a generous gift after the twins were born, possibly in the form of startup capital for their home-based business. Again, no official documents confirm this, but several family-adjacent sources insist there's been a quiet stream of assistance flowing from Robyn's household to Mykelti's, and that stream, it might explain why the audit had to be stopped cold, because if the money trail leads both ways, out to the jewelry stores and back into the hands of someone Christine would never suspect, then this isn't just about Robyn's spending anymore, it's about leverage. And what Christine allegedly discovers next might be even more explosive. What Christine found wasn't hidden in a vault or stashed in some encrypted file. It was sitting in plain sight, buried under unopened mail. According to a close friend who visited her Arizona home shortly after the audit blow-up, Christine had been sorting through weeks of backlogged letters when she noticed an envelope addressed to Brown Family Holdings LLC, postmarked 2 months earlier. Inside, a cashier's check stub and a copy of a memo. Not from a family member, but from a Las Vegas property management group. The document referenced a payment of $28,000 deposited into an account partially linked to Robyn's name and Mykelti's. The memo listed consulting services rendered, contract closed. Now, there's no way to know for sure what that contract involved, but Christine, according to that same friend, turned pale the moment she read it. She allegedly muttered, "This explains everything," before pulling out her phone. Insiders claim that call was to Janelle, and what followed was a marathon discussion that lasted nearly 3 hours. The question wasn't just where the money went, but why Mykelti's name was tied to any of it. The two women began retracing old conversations, allegedly recalling that Robyn had once brought up offering help to any of the kids willing to be part of her brand expansion plan, something that never quite made it to market, but had long been whispered about in the background. Jewelry, online sales, even a rumored podcast. If Mykelti had at some point agreed to take part and accepted a payout or early contract bonus, it could mean she's financially entangled with Robyn in ways no one realized. And if that's true, it would explain a lot, including why she'd killed the audit with just a few messages and no further explanation. Meanwhile, Cody has reportedly gone full radio silent. One crew member claims he's been frustrated and unreachable, refusing to comment on the growing speculation and shutting down any storyline that paints Robyn in a questionable light. TLC producers are allegedly scrambling to salvage the next filming block, with one source saying the whole jewelry audit arc was meant to be the backbone of season 18. And now, it's on ice, the insider said, because no one wants to touch Robyn right now unless they have a signed release and a backup legal team. But back to Christine. Her next move wasn't a text. It wasn't a phone call. According to someone close to her, she walked into a quiet little law office in Utah, the same one she'd used during her divorce paperwork prep. No fanfare, no camera crew, just Christine, a locked folder, and a look that one witness described as resolute. Because if she can't hold Robyn accountable through the show, she might just be preparing to do it somewhere far more official. And the timing? It's no coincidence at all. Christine knows better than most that power inside the Brown family has never been about who speaks the loudest. It's about who holds the receipts. And right now, Robyn may be flaunting jewels, but Christine's the one allegedly collecting paper trails, bank stubs, and hush-hush agreements that could shift the narrative entirely. According to someone familiar with her next steps, that quiet visit to the Utah law office wasn't just about filing anything formal yet. It was about getting advice, legal advice. Word is, Christine asked very specific questions about financial entanglements inside an LLC when some of the members are no longer legally tied. Because here's the kicker, even though she's no longer spiritually or legally married to Cody, Christine allegedly never signed away her claim to the original shared LLC that once tied all 4 wives to Coyote Pass, plus the residual royalties from the show's early merchandise ventures. That means, depending on how funds were shuffled around, she might still have the legal standing to demand transparency, especially if any of the money being used for Robyn's shopping came from assets partially owned by her. One source familiar with the family's finances whispered that Christine has just enough standing to make things extremely uncomfortable for Cody and Robyn if she chooses to push harder. And now that Mykelti has thrown her support behind Robyn, at least publicly, it could be that Christine is preparing to use that leverage in a very precise way. Not to start a lawsuit, not yet, but to force a reveal, one that may have ripple effects far beyond bank statements. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, Robyn is reportedly feeling the pressure. Sources claim she's grown increasingly withdrawn from production and has refused to shoot her usual home segments. She says she's sick, but she's just anxious. One insider confided, "There's too much heat and she doesn't want to give anything away on camera." Adding fuel to the fire, fans have recently resurfaced an old clip from a tell-all episode where Robyn insisted she never wanted to be the head wife and that she barely handled the family credit card. That comment, which aired years ago, now plays very differently in light of the unverified luxury jewelry spending, the tax drama, and the quiet flow of money that keeps circling back to her address. Janelle, for her part, is reportedly stepping back from direct conflict, but she's not out of the loop. In fact, one source claims she's quietly forwarding her own financial records to a third-party reviewer just in case. And with Christine allegedly prepping her next legal chess move, Mykelti's sudden silence is growing louder by the day. But then came the twist no one saw coming.
If anything, I should see her beforehand. Because I kind of like how Cody told us, it's about connecting with her during the day and making sure you don't get distracted by everything and not enjoying the moment with her.
Tony, Mykelti's husband, and according to insiders, he might be the one holding a whole new set of keys to this mystery. If Robyn's jewelry was the glittering distraction, Tony might just be the man behind the curtain. For weeks, Mykelti has absorbed most of the public scrutiny, defending Robyn, dismissing the audit, brushing off fan outrage. But now insiders are whispering that it's Tony who's been making the quiet moves behind the scenes. According to two separate sources familiar with the family's recent business filings, Tony was recently listed as a managing member on a new LLC, one that curiously shares a mailing address with a small strip mall unit near Flagstaff. That same unit, according to property records, was briefly leased under a holding company tied to a former Sister Wives producer. And the kicker? The company description allegedly includes boutique retail, online sales, and specialty handmade goods. Sound familiar? Rumors are swirling that this may be the real reason Mykelti shut down the audit.
I really do value Cody's advice. It comes from a man with experience, and the dumbest of people are the ones who don't listen to others.
If Tony and Robyn have been quietly collaborating on a retail concept, possibly even rebranding the long-defunct My Sister Wife's Closet project, it would mean Mykelti has a very personal stake in keeping Robyn out of hot water. Some fans speculate the jewelry Robyn's been seen wearing in recent photos might be early samples for a soft relaunch. If that's true, any investigation into where the funding came from, especially if it draws from family accounts, could sink the entire venture before it even goes live. One insider close to the production team said, "They've been talking about a relaunch for over a year. Robyn always wanted a second chance to make the brand work. This time, with Tony running the logistics and Mykelti as the face, she thought they could finally pull it off. But here's where things get even messier. Documents reviewed by a Brown-adjacent business consultant allegedly show wire transfers between the new LLC and a private account that was once used by Cody and Robyn for personal expenses. That overlap, while not illegal on its face, raises serious questions about how family funds are being repurposed and who knows about it. Janelle, according to a friend, was absolutely gutted when she heard the rumors. She always thought Tony was neutral. Now it feels like another betrayal. Christine, meanwhile, is staying tight-lipped, but her social media posts have taken on a noticeably sharper edge. One recent caption read simply, "You can't clean a house by hiding the dust." Fans were quick to interpret it as a veiled swipe. And while none of this has been confirmed on camera, TLC insiders say they've already begun preparing backup interview segments in case the alleged side business explodes into the open. But even if the cameras catch up, Christine may not wait for the network's blessing, because rumor has it she's already begun drafting her own script. And it's not for television. Christine writing a book isn't just a possibility anymore, it's a looming reality. Insiders now allege that Christine has quietly entered into early talks with a publishing house known for celebrity memoirs with teeth, and she's not planning some lighthearted journey through motherhood or a gentle reflection on plural marriage. According to one well-placed source, Christine's draft outline includes entire chapters dedicated to the family finances, Robyn's alleged spending patterns, and what she calls the cost of silence. If true, this project could detonate what little remains of the family's fragile peace, and perhaps most telling of all, Mykelti reportedly found out about the book after her audit-blocking move and was blindsided. One source close to the publishing team says Christine has receipts, not just emotional recollections, but hard documentation, statements, screenshots, and possibly even the disputed PayPal entries tied to Robyn's jewelry expenses. What's unclear is whether Christine intends to use those directly or if they'll be disguised under pseudonyms in a fictionalized memoir. Either way, the damage could be just as deep. She's done staying quiet, the source said. She wants her side out there, not filtered through editing rooms or network politics. It's no coincidence that her recent public appearances have been strikingly confident. Red carpet events, podcast interviews, subtle digs with a smile. It's the posture of someone who knows their truth is about to make headlines. Meanwhile, Robyn has reportedly grown increasingly paranoid. A family friend alleges she's been asking Kody to get ahead of the story by filming a sit-down segment clarifying the family's financial choices. Kody, however, is said to be resistant, possibly fearing that any public statement could open the door to scrutiny from tax officials, lawyers, or even TLC's corporate execs. He's backed into a corner, the insider shared. If he admits they pooled money to fund personal purchases, they all look bad. If he denies it, Christine might just prove otherwise. And then there's Mykelti, caught in the middle. Sources say she's been more withdrawn in recent weeks, skipping public family meetups and quietly turning down podcast interview requests. There's speculation she may have learned more than she expected when she stepped in to shield Robyn. And with Tony's name now tied to a questionable LLC, the stakes have shifted from uncomfortable family drama to potential legal risk. Because if Christine really does publish that memoir and the documents trace back to Robyn's spending or Kody's mismanagement, it won't just be a family feud. It'll be a full-on financial reckoning. And according to a friend of the publisher, Christine's manuscript already has a working title, one that might just stop the Brown family in their tracks. The rumored title? For sale, one crown, slightly tarnished. A sharp, unmistakable jab at the self-appointed queen status fans have long accused Robyn of claiming within the family. According to a publishing staffer who allegedly saw the early outline, the memoir frames Robyn not as an innocent bystander, but as the architect of a system that rewarded loyalty with luxury and punished dissent with exclusion. The book's themes, they say, will explore emotional control, economic silence, and what Christine reportedly calls the jewelry economy, a system in which affection was bought, forgiveness was brokered, and Mykelti's sudden audit block might not have been so sudden after all. It's not just a tell-all, the insider claimed. It's a reveal-all. She's not holding back. And that tone may be precisely why Robyn and Kody are, according to multiple sources, panicking behind closed doors. One former crew member alleges that Robyn recently requested that several scenes from earlier seasons be reviewed for sensitive content, specifically anything involving financial discussions or scenes showing her receiving expensive gifts. Producers allegedly refused, citing contract rules, but the request alone sparked speculation. Was she worried about context being weaponized? Was she bracing for Christine's version of the truth to rewrite the story? Back online, fans are already buzzing about potential bombshells. Threads speculate whether Robyn's infamous tissue box meltdown in season 9 was staged to earn sympathy before a big financial request. Others are rewatching old clips where Kody appears to defend Robyn's shopping habits, with one viewer commenting, "She didn't just buy jewelry, she bought silence." Meanwhile, hashtags like Audit Robyn and Crown for Sale are trending again, with fans dissecting still frames and resurfacing old interviews. One eagle-eyed Redditor even posted a screenshot from a long-forgotten bonus episode, showing Robyn wearing a necklace that looks suspiciously similar to one sold through a high-end Scottsdale jeweler known for custom work. The price tag? $23,000. What's more, TLC may not be able to ignore this narrative much longer. Insiders whisper that executives are debating whether to allow Christine's memoir to be mentioned on air next season, especially if it dominates press coverage during the show's run. There's even talk of offering her a separate reunion-style special to tell her side on camera, with legal advisors on standby. If true, it would mark a dramatic break from the show's usual format. But with Christine's credibility soaring and Robyn's image fraying, it might be the only way to keep viewers engaged. And while Mykelti has yet to comment publicly on the book, her absence from recent family promos hasn't gone unnoticed. Some say she's keeping her head down. Others believe she's already regretting where she placed her loyalty. But one thing's for sure, the silence is getting louder, and time is running out. As fall approaches, the Brown family finds itself more fractured than ever, not just emotionally, but financially, legally, and publicly. What began as quiet murmurs about Robyn's jewelry habits has spiraled into a full-blown reckoning, with implications far beyond the sparkle of a necklace. Christine's alleged manuscript is already stirring waves in publishing circles. Kody and Robyn's stonewalling has only added fuel to the fire. And Mykelti? Once viewed as the neutral middle daughter, Christine's bridge to peace is now being pulled in both directions, caught between maternal loyalty and material allegiance. Insiders say the tension reached a breaking point during a recent family filming session. According to one person present, Mykelti arrived late, avoided eye contact with Christine entirely, and left before the producers even called for group shots. TLC reportedly had to reschedule major scenes, and a portion of the shoot was canceled altogether. Later that week, Mykelti posted a cryptic Instagram story showing her twins with the caption, teaching them that some truths are better kept in the heart. The post vanished within hours, but screenshots were already circulating. Fans flooded the comments with questions. Was she referring to the audit? To Robyn? To the book? No answers came. Meanwhile, Robyn's social media presence has vanished. Her accounts have gone dark. The once active comment moderator on her jewelry resale page has allegedly stepped away, and a few family-adjacent vendors quietly pulled back from their collaborations. There's a chill in the air now, one that no amount of staged smiles or matching turquoise rings can mask. Robyn's influence, long shielded by emotional narratives, and Cody's fierce protection, appears to be unraveling under the weight of real questions about money, favoritism, and manipulation. And what about Christine's next move? Sources close to her claim she's already completed the first 3 chapters of her memoir draft and is reviewing offers from multiple publishing houses. If the deal goes through, advance copies could be circulating within 6 months. Producers at TLC are reportedly panicking behind closed doors, knowing full well that a tell-all released mid-season could dismantle what little storyline control they still have. They built a brand on this family, one insider said, but the brand is shifting, and Christine's not asking for permission anymore. The question now is simple, but explosive. If Mykelti did block the audit to protect Robyn, what does she do when the truth comes out anyway? Does she stay silent? Switch sides? Or will she finally speak for herself, for her kids, or for her mother? Do you believe Mykelti acted out of love, or was there more at stake than we were ever told? And if Christine's book really names names, would you want TLC to air her version unfiltered? Be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories that dig deeper than the headlines. Because in this family, secrets might glitter, but the truth always costs more than gold. And the next video on your screen is waiting. And trust me, you won't want to miss it.